smell and teeth.
Hello.
Good morning.
I think it's afternoon, by the way.
Oh, I was trying to sound like a newscaster then. Good morning.
Yes, you did.
Here is the
didn't
news.
you?
they always start the news, don't they, and go, good evening. And then they proceed to ruin it then. Don't they, by telling you everything that's going wrong in the world?
I have got a deep topic today.
Oh, shit. It's going to be difficult. Go on. It's not. Explain the principles of EQ in 4 words or less.
You see, that's an easy one.
Is it? Well, okay.
No, you see, this one is a little less tangible. It's a little bit more of a, off like on a different zone. I want to talk to you today about being an artist and being a producer. And what's the difference?
Yes.
I told you it was deep.
I think this is the problem. People today are hijacking words.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day,
Yes, please tell us
back
what
when
the
I used to go to
original-
school in shorts and my little flat cap, and I used to go down cobbled streets with bread in the front. But
That's what you wear every day to the studio.
no, but no, you make me sound like Angus Young. You don't. That's AC/DC for those who are listening to this and don't know what I'm talking about.
You see, I was thinking of the Hovis advert from years ago.
But the thing is, it used to be the drop. We used to have a drop and reprise. The drop was where all the instruments dropped out of the mix, and then
Yeah.
you'd reprise, and you bring everything back in. And these were technical terms for musicians. We would
Yeah, and it makes
reprise.
sense.
We would recapitulate.
Yeah.
These all make sense. And then kids came along with, no, this is now the drop because I dropped the beat back in. Yeah. And it's like, what the fuck? And now when you say drop, everyone goes, no, I'm not hitting the drop yet. It's like, what the fuck are you on about? They're hijacking. And I'm going off on a rant. Fuck you all. No, the point is...
Yeah, it's awesome. Isn't it? I just wind him up and off he goes.
but it is. It's like with producing. How they say, I'm a producer. It's like, really? Who do you produce? What? Well, you just said you're a producer. Who do you produce?
I'll produce some samples.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean. You've just said to me you're a producer. Who do you produce? Because when we go back in time, when I first started, I mean, obviously I started as a tape op or assistant or whatever you want to call them. And then you kind of proceed into like, an engineer setting up microphones and things like that, and then mix engineer. And then eventually you get to the job of producer. Now, the idea of a producer is you were the manager of a project. So what would happen is they would say to me, such a talent is coming in for the next 3 days. We want a record. So the talent would come in and they would play with gear. They'd mess around. They'd toy with things. They'd come up with an idea.
Yeah.
I would work with them to form this idea. And then I would kind of say, right, engineer, get in there, set up, record a guitar because I've got a guitarist coming in tomorrow. So essentially, I was the manager of a project. I would book in who comes in, what time they come in, where they are. And my job was to compile the project together to help this artist see their vision by bringing drummers in, sound designers, lyricists, to help this talent see their idea to fruition. Then I was responsible for submitting it to the record label. That is a producer.
Yeah.
I would produce talent.
But today, a lot of people are sat at home or sat in their own studio on their own. And they don't have talent coming in necessarily. They have to be the artist as well as the producer.
Well, exactly. And this is where there's kind of a breakdown because a lot of people can become a producer. They can drag samples in, they can write a track. But that is not being talent. Talent is somebody who plays, who has ideas. With a DAW, you've got a mouse. A mouse is not a musical instrument. I mean, the best way I can describe this is if I give you a box of crayons and a piece of paper and I say, draw me a picture, a nice, fun, colourful picture.
Yeah.
You'll grab it and you'll draw things and you'll scribble things in and you'll go over the lines and do all that stuff. Now, if I gave you the same thing, went, here's Photoshop, here's a selection of crayons, no matter how well you know Photoshop, you are not going to work the same.
Bad. No, it's going to be, I'm going to first of all feel quite stressed because I'm sat in front of a computer.
Well, it changes,
it changes my
your
way of-
mental pattern. This is what people are missing. They're sitting there in front of a computer and going, I'm a producer. It's like, yeah, it's fine being a producer. How about your talent first and then produce that talent?
I mean, a lot of people are surprised when they actually see the studio that we have in person, because when they see us on Zoom, they see us sat in front of the desk where we do mixing and mastering and the production side of things as so. Whereas behind us, we have lots of toys, so to speak, that we play with. That gadgets, as in, we've got the samplers, we've got the keyboards, we've got the old Mackie desk, we've got the record player, all those things, and it's two different things, isn't it?
This is what confuses people, because they come in and they see like an old Mackie 8 bus desk, and I mean, for those who aren't in the know, the old Mackie 8 bus desks were everything. The Prodigy mixed on them, Crystal Method, everybody's mixed on those desks because they were the standard.
Yeah.
But, they come in, they look at it and go, yeah, but I can do all that on the door. Yeah. And it's like, you're completely missing the fucking point. You know what I mean? We've got like 30 keyboards. We've got 5 different forms of samplers. We've got keyboard samplers. We've got record players. We've got granular synthesizers covered in knobs. And they completely miss the point that, well, yeah, but the idea of talent is always, what does this button do? That's what talent is. It's a childish imagination of, oh, wow, I've got an idea. It's not this computerized mentality of, I'm going to sit down in front of a door, here's my mouse, I'm going to stamp in my melody. That's not talent, that's production.
Okay, so let's just look at a situation, somebody's sat at home on their own, working alone. Is there any, say, pointers you could give them to help them bring out their artistry, their talent, so that then they can use it in their production? Is there any advice or anything that you could give?
Buy something, invest in yourself. That's the biggest thing, because people think, all I need is a computer and I'm fine. I can do whatever. And it's like, no, if you want to be talented, you need to invest in yourself. So go out there, invest in yourself, buy something that inspires you. If he's got 40 knobs on it, it doesn't matter. Just twiddle the knobs. What happens if I push that? What's this button do? What does that do? What happens when I turn that? That brings out your curiosity, and the curiosity inspires your artistry. You come up with ideas. If you look at any professional on the market, you're going to see that they're not just sat by a door. They've got tools next to them like knobs and buttons and modular. I mean, modular's a big one at the moment. I was just
going to say, actually, Deadmau5 always comes to mind when I'm thinking about this, because I had modular. I've got some modular still, that I used at the very start to inspire me, to help bring out more of an artist in me. And he plays on his modular, doesn't he? You can.
There's quite a few. There's I can't remember his name now. It's completely slipped out. But he's a drum and bass artist. A drum and bass artist, and a lot of the sounds that he got when I was watching this kind of YouTube video with him in, he got them from modular. He has this big modular thing sat in it, and he says, I was just dicking around, plugging stuff in, playing, and I got this sound, he says, and that inspired me to write the entire track.
No, but this is what was a great pointer to give people then, is just find something that inspires you, that will help you release your artistry.
Yeah, because this is the thing, people invest in you and your art. Now, what you have to imagine here is that me as a listener, and this is what everybody else misses, I listen to your music and I attach to it in an emotional sense. I don't listen to it and go, oh yeah, he's well, I do actually, but
well, we do, because we listen slightly differently.
But we'll say Joe Public, he's not going to listen to your music and go, I think he's used Silent and Ableton there, and this is the confusion. Your Joe Public listens to it and go, yeah, I can tap my foot to this. I know what he was feeling. Yeah. Even in techno records, you can hear the blood, sweat, and tears in the music. You can hear the energy and the passion of the artist.
Yeah,
and that's artistry. That's putting that across. That's what I invest in as Joe Public. I don't invest in something that, well, obviously that's perfectly quantized and it's written on Silent with perfect 16th notes, and I can hear it beautifully. Very well done. And you've used 2 sawtooth.
Yeah, but as well, I think it's not just investing in, say, a piece of hardware or whatever that will inspire you. It's actually investing time. So realising that you might sit down on you've been at work all day, you sit down, it's a Tuesday evening, you've got 2 or 3 hours to work on music, and you're not going to probably have anything at the end of those 2 or 3 hours, because you're going to have just played and enjoyed it. But that's as important.
It is, and the problem is that a lot of people go to work during the day, and this is kind of twisting off what we're talking about a little bit, but they kind of come home and think, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to write a track, and I need to write a great track and get it out there because it needs to get signed so I can get some money so I can quit my job.
Yeah.
And if that's the attitude, it's the wrong attitude.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. You should come home and play with things. You should want to do this for the love of it.
And that will come out in the music. So, yeah, you've given us a great tip there, some great ideas, to move forward to help us develop our artistry. I think one of the last things I want to cover is having the confidence to do that. And that takes some time, doesn't it? It means that you have to learn your door inside out so that isn't a barrier, but also having the confidence to try things and they might not work. Because when I think back, I mean, I know you do a lot of stuff with the music, but I'll play with vocals, lyrics, and it took me a while to get the confidence to actually tell you that I was doing that, didn't it? So it's building that confidence, isn't it, and belief in yourself.
Yeah, you've got to believe in yourself and you've got to believe in your ideas. I mean, look at Goldie. If Goldie wouldn't have gone, what the hell is this, drum and bass? Everybody would have balked at the thought and thought, what's that about? It's like if Henry Ford asked public what do they want, they would have said, well, faster horses. You can't listen to the public. It's like when I get comments about, my mix or my music and, well, I didn't like it. Well, your opinion didn't cross my fucking mind when I wrote this. I don't care what you think. I liked it. I did it the way I liked it. And if you don't like it, well, that's fair enough. But, your opinion means shit to me. I really couldn't care less what you think. And you have to develop that attitude that I don't care what anybody else thinks. Whatever comes out is me.
Yeah.
And you have to have that confidence of, this is me. If you don't like it, I don't give a fuck, but this is me.
Yeah.
And I love it. And the problem is that too many people are afraid of that. They're afraid of rejection. They're afraid, big enough, of getting things wrong. And the thing is, this is about getting things wrong.
Because sometimes that wrong thing can be something quite beautiful.
Oh, yeah. And also, I mean, when I do something, I never get anything wrong. I just found 1,000 ways that didn't work.
Yeah. And
there is
you
no
might
such
use
thing
in
as
a
wrong.
different track as well.
Yeah. You learn every time you do something, you learn. So you need to open yourself up and experiment. And then once you have an idea, then produce that idea in the door.
Yeah.
But before you do that, come up with an idea.
That's really some great advice there. Thank you for your time today. As I say, it is a deep topic and probably one that we'll visit again because there's just always so much to talk about artistry and finding your inner artist.
Yeah, which is fundamental to what everybody's going to invest in. They invest in you, not in your door, not in your.
No, they don't really. To be honest, nobody really cares. Not the general public. They don't care how it was written. Everybody likes a nice little story that might go with it, but they don't really invest in that. They invest in how it sounds and how they can connect emotionally.
Well, that's it. How it was made is an after story. A pleasant after story. The fact is, if it's going to be a hit record, you're investing in the person who made it like that.
See, I always think of how it was made is really to do with the pub quiz.
Yeah.
It's the question on the Christmas pub quiz.
Yeah, it's not important how it was made. What's important is that does it connect with millions of people? And when you look at the figures of 98.6% of people fail in this, that's a significant amount.
And let's be honest, that question isn't going to get on the pub quiz unless your track's good anyway.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
So let's get some good tracks out there, folks.
Yeah. Concentrate on your artistry. Production follows.
Yeah. Lovely. Thank you very much.
No, you're welcome.
Okay. Bye-bye.
It's Mo and Tifa.